Now, paragraph 4 on page number 69. Every child is born with some inherited characteristics into a specific socio-economic and emotional environment and trained in certain ways by figures of authority. Now, here in this paragraph, APJ Abdul Kalam says that every child inherits means gets from his parents. What? Some kind of characteristics. What characteristics? That he has some particular kind of socio-economic environment and emotional environment. Socio-economic environment means the kind of society where he lives, what kind of economic background he has, and what kind of emotional background he has as a child, and trained in certain ways by the figures of authority. Who are the figures of authority? Figures of authority means somebody who has the power to guide us, who has the power to have some kind of authority over us. And who are these figures? Who are these people? Are generally parents and teachers. So he says, I was trained in a certain way by my parents and teachers. I inherited honesty and self discipline from my father. So we all know that APJ Abdul Kalam has been such an honest and self disciplined person. So he gives the credit of this to his father. From my mother, I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness, and so did my three brothers and sisters. And the credit of being good and kind, this credit he gives to his mother. And he says, all my three brothers and sisters also have been like this and inherited the same qualities from our parents. I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan, and Shiv Prakashan. So he mentions the name of his three close friends. All these boys were from orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. Orthodox means very stubborn, very uh, very stubborn and not very flexible. So all these boys were from Hindu Brahmin families, that too very orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. So he says, when we all were children, we never felt any kind of difference because of our religious backgrounds or because of our upbringing, how we were raised. Upbringing means how they were raised. In fact, Ramananda Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. So, Ramananda Shastri was the son of the high priest of the temple, which was quite a respectable post. Later, he took over the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple from his father. So he says, later on my friend also became the priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Arvindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims. Now he says Arvindam went on the business of transport for visiting pilgrims, means those the travelers who would come there on the religious purpose, for the religious kind of journey. So he would arrange transport for them. And Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for the southern railways. Paragraph 5. During the annual Sri Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony, our family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site, situated in the middle of the pond called Rama Tirtha, which was near our house. So here APJ Abdul Kalam is mentioning a ceremony or a festival named Shri Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony. So it is basically the marriage festival. It is a marriage festival. It is the ceremony of the redepiction of the marriage between Sita and Ram. So he says during this festival, his family used to arrange boats with a special platform, and on that platform they would keep the idols of Lord Rama and Sita, and from the temple to the marriage site they would take them, and the marriage site was located in the middle of the pond, which was called Rama Tirtha. The name of the pond was Rama Tirtha, and which was near the house of APJ Abdul Kalam. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the Prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell the children in our family. So he says that there were no religious barrier in his life or in his family. His grandmother as well as his mother will tell him the stories of Hindus as well as Muslim gods equally. Paragraph 6. One day when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. So Kalam remembers his days when he was in 5th standard, Rameshwaram Elementary School. So he says one day a new teacher joined our class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to Ramananda Shastri, who wore the sacred thread. So he says that I always used to wear a cap which Muslims, that net cap which Muslim used to wear, and he says with that cap anybody could easily find out that he was a Muslim. And Ramananda Shastri used to wear the sacred thread, that if you have heard that thread, you can see in the pictures also. You can see in the picture on page number 70, these Brahmins, Pandits, these are wearing one thread around from neck to the stomach. You can see this thread. This is known as Janeu. So he used to wear that thread, Ramananda Shastri. So from that thread of Ramananda Shastri, anybody could find out that he is a Hindu. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. So the new teacher could not stomach means could not tolerate or could not digest the fact that a Hindu, such a high priest son is sitting next to a Muslim boy. In accordance with his social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, so according to him that it was not good for to maintain the social ranking, they should sit separately. So I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. So Kalam was asked to get up from there and sit at the back bench. I felt very sad, and so did Ramananda Shastri. So not only Kalam felt bad about this, but Ramananda Shastri also felt very bad about this. He looked utterly downcast. He looked so depressed as I shifted to my seat in the last row. As Kalam left his front seat, so his friend felt very depressed, very sad. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. Kalam says, when I left the front seat and was shifted to the last seat, the weeping, the crying image of my friend has left a lasting impression on me, means till today I cannot forget that image, that how much love my friend was having for me.